What's good? Big Gang James in the house. You know where I'm at. You see where it is. You know where I'm at. You see where it is. Fresh off the press. Done with the job. In this damn snow, warming up the truck. So I thought I'd jump on here right quick and just give my quick thoughts about this Mike Nolan thing. Shout out to anybody who jumps in the feed today. I might not be able to see everybody. You know what I'm saying? My phone is acting kind of weird. But shout out to everybody in the building that jumps in here. Uh, yeah, well, we already know that ain't happening, so that's something we ain't talking about. What up, the ninja? Carlito, T Smooth, Jim Laws, Charlie Bridges, get on in here. Notification gang, notification. Make sure if they not coming up, what up? Oh, Sheila. Remember, if the notifications aren't coming up, turn them off, turn them back on. That's how they pop. But let's get started because I'm warming my truck up. It ain't actually that cold out here, but I hate the damn snow, so you know how it is. Jim Laws, my fam. Yo, what up, Devin? Goon Squad, y'all know how we do. But I just want to jump on here right quick. Yes, the Ninja, that's my Goon Squad. The Ninja, Mel Hayes, them is my goons. If you want to jump on there and get on, I got two goons. Hulk, he's a goon too. I'm a goon low key. But if y'all want to be on that Goon Squad, we're going to make it because them is my dogs. Sheila. Make sure you go check out, you know it, Ty, baby. This is the job, baby. I love this job. This job is a great job. Great benefits. Paying me my drive time to drive damn near an hour to work. They're paying like 20 something dollars for my drive time. They're gonna give me hella hours. I work by myself. Don't nobody bother me here. You know what I'm saying? I knock stuff out, and the main thing is I work by myself. I don't work with nobody, and that's what I love. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but look, let's check this out though. Let me jump on here because my truck is running. I want to talk about this Mike Nolan thing right quick. We just saw you seen Mike Fisher. Make sure you go check out that hot show we had yesterday on the late night hype. That shit was banging. It was explosive. We got to the Knicks and cranny. It wasn't political. You know how we do. We don't come with that political stuff. Wasn't nothing political about it. It was a great show. A lot of good info on Dak, Mike Nolan, just situations. And you know, I feel like Stephen Jones. I feel like Fisher did tell it as much as he could tell it as being real, not a homer. And I do appreciate him coming like that. So I definitely respect him doing that. But when we're talking about the defensive coordinator, Mike Nolan, they said he is not expected to return. We should all know this, okay? Because this has been one of the worst defenses in Dallas Cowboy history. Dead last in a lot of statistics. We know that. Um, but I wanted to check out some things right quick. When we're talking about Mike Nolan not returning, where are they going to go from here? I think that's the biggest question, in my opinion. Where are they going from here? I made a little post on my Twitter account earlier today. Said, hey, why don't they just get rid of Mike Nolan, let George Edwards bang out these last three games and see what he got going on? My dog Patrick Walker, Patrick No C, Walker said, yeah, he liked that idea, but since it's the team is crippled, you're not really gonna have everybody back. You're not fighting with a loaded gun. I wouldn't jump out there and do that. I'll wait and just go ahead and wait and see if I can get a full ammo team and then kind of go, which I definitely feel like that too. But we're supposed to get Chidobe back. You're supposed to be getting Diggs, maybe coming back. Anthony Brown, I think, maybe back. So you may have a healthy back end. Donovan Wilson may be back as well these next 3 weeks. So you may actually see all three of those guys back. So my thing is, I feel what my dog Pat was saying, but at the same time, I still want to see what these guys would do under George Edwards, especially if they try to stay in house. But let me say something to you right quick. When Mike McCarthy took over the Green Bay Packers in '06, I thought it was, Sky had told me, he liked that 3-4 concept, and he does. But his first 3 years, when he was at Green Bay, he ran a 4-3, and the defensive coordinator was Bob Sanders. All right? So from '06 to '08, they ran a 4-3 defense under Sanders. Okay? But first year, they was 8-8 under McCarthy. The second year, they went 13-3. The third year they regressed and went 6-10, and then Bob Sanders got fired. They were 20th ranked, I believe, in scoring. They were 22nd. They had really bad numbers, but nothing like Dallas is. So there would be no way you should be bringing Nolan back if you got rid of Sanders after having one bad year, after having a good year. So anyway, he moves over to Dom Capers. You saw what happened. They got a Super Bowl under McCarthy at that time, and Capers stayed there from '09 to 2017. They had some pretty good defenses there, and then he got removed. Mike Pettine, I believe, came in 2018, and he's still there now. But as I said before, the first 3 years, Mike McCarthy went with the 4-3. His next years, which was his next 10 years, he went 3-4. Very successful in the 3-4, and I think maybe that's why he may push that way to go with the 3-4 because they were successful with it. But my thing is like this. I was reading an article when they got rid of Bob Sanders from the Packers, and they were saying a lot of people were calling for his head. A lot of people were calling for the defensive coordinator's head because they regressed so bad. But in this article, they talked about Mike McCarthy and saying, you know what? Bob Sanders deserves to get thrown to the fire because how this defense is played, but let's not let Mike McCarthy off. And this is what they were saying about Mike McCarthy. And this was in '08. What this was saying about Mike McCarthy. The newspaper called them an underachieving team. They said they were discipline lacking. They lacked fire, and to a certain extent, hey ho, what's up, my doggone squad, Mel Hayes, and they lacked confidence. Okay. So what are some of the things we're seeing with Mike McCarthy now? And I'm not jumping on the let's bash Mike McCarthy because like I said, I wanted him to get hired. Maybe they should have looked at some other people, but I still thought he was the best man for the job because I was going by them Packers of what they did to us and what they had done under McCarthy. But then I started, like I said, I started looking like you had a really good quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, and that's why you won a lot of them games because when you didn't have Aaron Rodgers under center, you didn't win. So I'm not trying to just throw McCarthy out of here, but I am going back to patterns and trends. When I worked at a job called Alliance Data, whenever you were late or if you were anything like that, they called it patterns and trends. Patterns and trends. And if you weren't doing your job, they called the patterns and trends. And so this is patterns and trends that I'm looking at with Mike McCarthy. And only his third year at Green Bay, a lot of people were calling for his head already. Okay? And they were saying underachieving. Mistakes on field, bad issues as far as play calling. I mean, not play calling, but game management. These things were coming up a lot then and within those first 3 years. And like I said, the thing that read 3 other articles, and they all said the same thing: underachieving, discipline lacking, lack of fire, lack of confidence. But the biggest thing was underachieving and discipline lacking. That's what these Packers writers and Packers fans were saying about Mike McCarthy then. Now, as we see, he got the Super Bowl. But we also remember when he was 15-1, they choked in that first round, I believe, when the Giants beat them. So these things have been going on since Green Bay, and now they're here. I don't know which route that Mike McCarthy goes as far as the defensive side of the ball, but it looks like he had more success. Hey, ho, April Showers with the $20 holla. Your show is the first one with Fish. You're really good. Hey, appreciate it. We just try to bring the best. Go check out that Darian Thompson clip with my dog Skywalker Steel as well. Appreciate the $20 holla, though. But I definitely appreciate the $20 holla. Appreciate the support, man. You guys are great. But like I said, these are things that you got to look at before I get off of here. He had more success in the 3-4, but Mike McCarthy did run a 4-3. And when I hear Jerry Jones, the general manager, saying, well, you know what, I don't think that we should have went that fast and made the adjustments that quick, especially with COVID. It was really kind of just messed up. So this is what I'm going to see. Because if Mike McCarthy wants to go with this 4-3 again, this 3-4 again, because he has success with it, they're going to have to fully commit like they did with Bill Parcells. And Wade Phillips was basically a 3-4 guy, and I felt like that made more sense when they hired him as the coach, so they didn't have to do a mad sweep of changes. Because when Parcells came over here, he already said, we're going to the 3-4, we're switching everything up, and they dedicated the draft, they dedicated free agents, they dedicated. If you're going to go 3-4, you have to go all out. You have to change everything you're doing, and you have to got to get 3-4 personnel. And Dallas doesn't have full 3-4 personnel on the team. So it's going to be interesting to see. My guy BJ Nix brought this up a couple of days ago. We talked about it on the hype with Mike Fisher. Is Jerry Jones and the Joneses going to pick the guy and say, we're going to pick the defensive coordinator, or they're going to lie Mike McCarthy? Is he going to stay 4-3? Is he going to go 3-4? Will they mess with George Edwards, who I talked about today? Will they bring a George Edwards in after this season and say, well, we want to keep it in house. We want to stay at this 4-3. I don't like the change. We want to stay at 4-3. We'll go with George Edwards because he had those principles. He coached under Mike Zimmer. Mike Zimmer has been in Dallas. We know he was the defensive coordinator. That could all kind of mesh. Or are they going to look outside the box? Or are they going to go for a 3-4 coach outside the box? So it's going to be a lot of things that's going to be going on with this defense, but they're going to have to figure it out early and quickly, because if you're thinking about going to a 3-4 and getting a 3-4 type defensive coach, you got to start this process now. You got to get in the mentality now, because it's got to be a full sweep. If you're not, and you're going to stay in that 4-3, look for George Edwards. Might be the guy that might take over, because you know how Jerry is. He don't want to take forever on the in-house. You know, he want to keep it in-house, want to stay like that. That's what it could go, and that's what it could be. But just like I said, Mike McCarthy did have the 4-3 his first 3 years under Green Bay, switched to it the 3-4, 10 years, had a lot more success, and maybe he may go that route, but they're going to have to fully commit to it. So we're going to have to see, because this isn't a great draft, in my opinion. Very good draft, depth, but it's not that great draft I felt like last year. I could be wrong. I'm still going to be studying on that. But that's just some stuff to look at. And these things that were rearing its ugly head in Green Bay when they were saying that, underachieving, discipline problems, lack of fire. These are the same things we're seeing at Dallas the first year. And it can't be all Mike Nolan. It has to fall on Mike McCarthy as well. So Mike McCarthy is going to have to right this ship and get this stuff together ASAP, because I know he's coming back next year, and the Cowboys are committed to him. But you should also see, after Jimmy Johnson and only Jason Garrett, every coach, I believe, between Jimmy Johnson and then Jason Garrett, they only had 3 years. Chan Gailey had 3 years. I believe Wade Phillips had 3 years. Dave Campo had 3 years. I think Parcells went 3, and I think he ended 4. So they all went 3 years. So next year, I don't think he'll get a 3-year pass. Mike McCarthy, I think next year is going to be the pass that you get. If you come in there next year and they see the same type of traits, I feel like he may be going. And if it's bad early and you have a Dak Prescott, you may see a fire in midseason. I know the Cowboys don't like doing that, but I know they're not going to be patient with this, and they're not going to go forever because they're getting older, and they're going to want to see their guys make it happen. So, as I said before, make sure you check out the show. Appreciate everybody who was in here. Shout out to Jim Laws, Mel Hayes, all my guys out there. Like I said, it could be in-house with George Edwards because they don't want to make that crossover. But if it is a 3-4, they're going to have to fully commit to it right now. So we'll see how that goes as far as everything. But go check out that great interview we had with Mike Fisher yesterday. Great job by Laws. He already been talking with Mike. We had a great time with him. Go check out that interview with Darian Thompson with my dog Skywalker Steel. He really killed that thing. And then tomorrow we got Burgers and Blitzes with my guy Mike White. We're going to be talking more about this defensive coordinator. We'll have some names out there besides George Edwards that we'll talk about and go over. And then Friday, we'll be talking. I'll be having my guy Connor Livesay from Blogging the Boys. We did some draft stuff yesterday, but he does a lot of that draft stuff. So we're gonna go hard on the draft. I told you guys I don't really like going hard on the draft till like January because so much things can change. But we're gonna start getting some names out there that's already been talked about. But we'll just kind of go over and some free agent players that maybe Dallas can look at and maybe can afford or actually spend. And then I think my dog boss Cowboys is rocking with me again Saturday. My members, I told you we were going to do a little chat thing that we had popping. Well, I got to see what y'all want to do. My dog Jim Laws, the lunatic, wanted to commit to it. I don't know how many people want to go with this for my deluxe and premium members. If y'all trying to jump on where we just have a chat and we go live, y'all got to let me know. If you just want to be a couple people, we can do it. We can go hard this weekend. I'm sorry I delayed it the last couple of weeks, but I can have up to 10 people on it. So I wanted to have kind of one of them full house thing with the deluxe and supreme members. Kind of just your thoughts and y'all's feelings, and kind of just let y'all have the forum and go live and let people hear y'all. Y'all don't have to have your face. I think I can just have your voice if you don't want to show your face, and we can get that popping. So that's the only reason why I haven't did it in these last couple of weeks, because I want to see how many members want to really get it in, and that show can really be about y'all, not me, and we just kick it and talk. So once again, just kind of let me know. I'll make another post again in my members box, and we'll jump onto that. So I haven't been playing